We're here in Palawan. Hi everyone! So, it's been a while since nung nag-last vlog ako kasi naging sobrang busy sa school. So, pasensya na. Pero ngayon ako nagkaroon ng time and today is a beautiful day. So, pupunta tayo sa Stanley Park. So, arat na! Okay, so nandito na tayo sa Stanley Park. It's about 20 or 25 minutes walk. Okay, I'll show you around. Sobrang laki ng Stanley Park. And as I remember, ito yung isa sa mga favorite place ni Jackie Chan here in Vancouver. So, I hope mag-enjoy kayo sa Rampa natin today. Ciao!
I don't know, it might be the largest park in the world. We can actually ask the lady for the tour because they would know. Dog reminds me of Maxie.
Yeah.
I think this is what they call the seawall. So this goes all around the park. This is a good place to go for like a jog or a run.
Yeah,
or
for sure. Ride. I mean, to get to the finish line, I think it will take you 2 hours.
Yeah, but you know, if you ever want to go for like a bike ride or something, it shouldn't take that long. But it's a good exercise.
I would love to have a picture here, love.
You want a picture?
Yeah. Okay, dahil napakalaki ng Stanley Park, sasakay tayo sa horse carriage. So, that's this one. Tara na, let's go!
off like a herd of turtles. Well, welcome to the park and to the beautiful city of Vancouver. My name's Jennifer. I'll be your guide for the next hour or so. If you have questions, please shout them out nice and loud so I can hear you, and I'll try my best to answer them for you. My horses today, I have Percherons as well. Percherons are French breed. They were originally bred to carry knights into battle. On the left we have Lonnie, and on the right we have Bill. The building to your right on the shore with the 5 white sails is called Canada Place. To its immediate right, with the dome on top, we have the Pan Pacific Hotel. The buildings were both completed for the World Exposition that was held in Vancouver in 1986. Canada Place is our cruise ship terminal. We can dock as many as 4 ships at Canada Place at one time if we needed to. The area beneath the sails is an exhibition and convention center, approximately the size of a football field. It can seat over 4,000 people for a sit-down dinner at one time. The building immediately to the right of Canada Place with the grass on the roof is an expansion called Canada Place West. It has a 6-acre living, the whole thing over the edge of the cliff and then detonate it. It was done so the ship's captains moored in the harbor could set their chronometers by the flash of the blast. The Brockton Point lighthouse keeper didn't like this job. He thought it far too dangerous. He protested it long and loud. So finally they gave him the cannon, and he simply fired the cannon off nightly at 9 instead. Of course, with modern technology, the cannon's no longer required. Still fired nightly at 9. It's a tradition now rather than necessity. So if you're in downtown at 9 o'clock and you hear a big boom, that's what it is, the cannon going off. Very loud, you can't miss it if you're not expecting it. Originally, Mr. Brown, he wanted to copy Copenhagen's Little Mermaid statues. Danish people wouldn't allow him permission for an exact copy. Mr. Imrie was the one that came up with the girl in the wetsuit idea. If you look close at her, you can see she's not a mermaid. She has 2 legs, flippers, not fins. She's wearing a wetsuit as well as having a mask on her forehead. Mr. Imrie was so proud of the statue that every year on her birthday, when she was placed on this rock, he'd come out with his family, they would polish her up, and they would pass out birthday cake to the people walking by on the seawall. The Imries, it seemed, had a personal preference to hand out carrot cake. They say on a busy summer afternoon, sit here on the seawall, count the people you see, walking, biking, or rollerblading past. You could see 1,000 people an hour go by. The wooden structure here to your left is called Lumberman's Arch. The original arch was much larger and more majestic. It was built in downtown Vancouver in 1912 by the BC lumber industry to commemorate an official royal visit of the Duke and Duchess of Connaught. That was one of Queen Victoria's sons. Because they wanted the prime piece of real estate it perched on downtown, the structure was picked up and moved to the park in 1913. It stood here for another 35 years. The original structure was then taken down for safety reasons. The wood was starting to rot, and that much smaller arch you see was then put up. Below us on the right, we have the kids' water park. The area originally was a saltwater wading pool entitled swimming pool, filled in about 25 years ago to make something that would be a little safer and more sanitary for the younger children. All those pipes during the summer days, they spray out gallons of water for the children to run in, around, and through. Several of the pipes you see are directional. The children have fantastic fun hitting unsuspecting passers-by rather than each other. In particular, they love to go after rollerbladers. I think they just want moving targets. Looking down to the far end of Burrard Inlet, in the distance you'll notice the outline of another bridge. It's often called the Second Narrows Crossing. Lions Gate's quite often called the First Narrows Crossing. The bridge at the Second Narrows, the third one to go across that end of the inlet. First one made out of wood, still in use today as a train trestle. Second one made square blue buildings to the left of the sulfur piles. The resulting mixture is sulfur and potash that makes fertilizer. The fertilizer is loaded onto some of these ships and it's shipped out to over 40 countries around the world. The rest of the sulfur is used for things like matches, pyrotechniques in the pharmaceutical industry to make skin lotions, and also for cosmetics. The body of water, this is called Burrard Inlet. It's a deep water arm of the Pacific Ocean. The section's approximately 100 meters deep in the center. Depending on where you are, it's up to 4 kilometers across and it goes about 30 kilometers inland behind us. In addition to waterfowl, often we'll see harbor seals playing or basking on the rocks. In the spring and the fall, we'll get visits from California sea lions as they work their way from California to Alaska to their breeding grounds and back. And occasionally we get the special treat of a visit from a whale or two. The whale come in, chasing after the schools of salmon. The salmon come in to work their way upriver to their spawning grounds. This is the main formal garden of the park. Depending on the time of year, up to 30 full and part-time gardeners spend almost year-round to keep gardens beautiful. Flowers of one type or another blooming almost year-round. It makes the gardens a very popular attraction here in the park. The archway here on the right, in early June, all the tea roses on it come into bloom. It's a very popular spot for weddings and wedding photographs. I've seen as many as 8 bridal couples at one time with the wedding parties at different points in the gardens, either getting married or having photos done. The rose gardens on either side of us started in 1920 by the Kiwanis Club, which is one of our local service clubs. Very simply to demonstrate the possibility of rose culture in the city. The height of the season, in about 55 beds, over 40 different varieties of roses bloom. Each one of these beds is a different variety of rose. They generally bloom May right through October, sometimes well into November if we don't get a heavy frost. The large tree here on the right, surrounded by the benches, have a close look. It's actually a rotting cedar stump with several trees growing out of the old rotting stump. In front of us, the body of water is called Lost Lagoon. It was a part of Cole Harbour in the early years. When the causeway was built for the Lionsgate Bridge, they pumped salt water out of Lost Lagoon and pumped in fresh. Lost Lagoon was named by the Canadian poetess Pauline Johnson. She loved to paddle her canoe around Cole Harbour and into the lagoon. One day, while out paddling, the tide went out and the lagoon disappeared, hence the name Lost Lagoon. Pauline wrote a beautiful poem about Lost Lagoon. Pauline was born near Brantford, Ontario. She had a British mother and a Mohawk chief father. She was sort of a cultural ambassador, would travel throughout Canada, Great Britain, and the U.S., dressed in her native regalia and reciting her poetry.
Okay, so that's it for today. I had so much fun. I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa ating Rampa here in Stanley Park. Actually, 1/4 lang yung naikot natin kasi sobrang laki ng Stanley Park. I think it'll take like 2 to 3 hours para maikot mo yung buong Stanley Park. And actually, nagugutom na kasi kami. So, maghahanap kami ng restaurant. So, that's it yung ating vlog for today. Shoutout nga pala kila Adele, Baby Calix, my family and friends. I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa vlog natin today. Ciao!